Hello everybody and welcome to the Ozzimon Library. Of course, I am the librarian and welcome to another Ozzimon video. And in today's video we're diving back into our little Orange Ranger creation, where we are kind of trying to make an Orange Ranger for every single Power Ranger team throughout Power Rangers. The only one that I will not be doing is Alien Rangers and of course Cosmic Fury, because, well, they already have an Orange Ranger. And I'm not counting Boone from SPD because obviously that's a dream sequence. I will be including SPD as well, but in today's video we're diving in with In Space, and I think I came up with such a really cool idea for this one. So let me quickly just explain where I got my inspiration from before we actually showcase the Ranger. So my inspiration for this Ranger actually doesn't come from the In Space TV show or series, I say. It actually comes from the comic book, which is Countdown to Ruins, which is actually the prequel of In Space. It kind of shows off how Andros gets his powers and why Zane is in a comatose sleep before In Space actually occurs. So, with that being said, I want to introduce you to Marvy and Daza, which is the original OG blue In Space Ranger and a pink In Space Ranger. They're a lesbian couple who actually adopt Andros and Zane and some other kids from KO35 after, you know, the terrible attack that resulted in Corone being kidnapped. And once in the comic book, once Daza and Marvy do save Andros and Zane and the other kids, they adopt them, and the adopted kids actually become the second team of In Space Rangers, which are Andros and Zane's first ever Ranger team. So I wanted to come up with an Orange Ranger, of course, and this is how I did it. My Orange Ranger is actually going to be Daza and Marvy's very first child that's actually theirs. They get a surrogate and end up having a child that's actually their biological child, which is fantastic, and they're going to be call him Morrow. Now, when it comes to Morrow, he gets given the orange power set, being of course slightly different to everyone else, and Daza and Marvy are incredibly sheltering Morrow throughout his life, making sure that he doesn't go on any massive treacherous missions, keeping him safe as possible. They know the dangers that are out there, and one day Morrow decides to go on a journey by himself, on a mission all on his own, and ends up on a very strange planet. And he ends up getting damaged in this on this planet. His ship ends up being destroyed and his morpher ends up being damaged as well. Now this results in the complete annihilation of his communication device, his way off the planet, and all of his weapons and gear. Now of course he does end up becoming friends with the the inhabitant species on the planet. There's a tribe there that do take him in, and he ends up fixing his morpher, allowing him to morph once again. But the only problem there is he still has no weapons, no communication device, and no way off the planet. So he is the only Ranger on this planet, and it turns out that the species that he ends up living with do have a natural predator, which are these big monster looking things, and Morrow ends up defending them, becoming the savior of this alien race. Now, when it comes to his Ranger design, of course, he is an Orange Ranger. So basically, when it comes to the orange suit, I just designed an orange suit. Now, the colours squares across the chest actually do represent each colour, other than Zane's, which are all one colour. So I decided to make the squares a darker version of the colours, making sure that we get a nice glimpse of different colours, just a darker tone of them. So for an example, instead of blue, I'm using navy blue, just give you an example. Now, as you can see, we do have this really nice cloak, this like poncho around him. Let me explain what that is. So with the poncho, basically it comes from the race of aliens that he befriends and lives with and of course protects. The little symbol that you can see etched onto the poncho is their like flag, their like, their species logo, and they etched it on because Morrow is now their guardian, their savior, their hero. So it's almost like a representation of that. And he wears it now when he's morphed, and he wears it, and it's kind of like a symbol, almost like Superman's S on his chest, or Spider-Man's spider logo. It's meant to kind of represent where he's protecting, and now his new home. And Morrow will end up being the sole protector of this alien race for the foreseeable future. When it comes to weapons, I didn't design one, because obviously Morrow doesn't actually get a new weapon weapon and has no Zord, has no communication device, and he is now stuck here on this planet. Of course, he does try to reach out to his parents again using the communication devices on the planet, but they're not strong enough to reach all the way back to Marvi and Daza, and he ends up getting lost throughout the universe. So I did kind of cheat here, because normally I do design a weapon, but I decided not to go with one, and a part of that was because I had a real hard struggle coming up with an idea, but I decided to leave it there and go, do you know what, why not just have one ranger which doesn't get a weapon, because of the story that I have built here, and I think it's actually a really cool idea. So there we have it. A rather quick video for you guys, sure, but it's a fun video nevertheless, and an orange ranger that I've created for In Space. I wanted to connect it to In Space, but the original cast obviously is an original, a really big, impactful season. This was meant to be the end of Power Rangers, and it does kind of end nicely, and I thought, well, we do have more lore to the In Space Rangers. Now, of course, I'm not breaking any rules here, connecting it to the comic books, because it is in space nevertheless, and I connected it to two characters we've never seen before in the TV show. So yeah, I'm very happy with this design. Do let me know what you guys think down below with this design for my Orange and Space Ranger, and if you're interested in Countdown to Ruins, the one-off comic book from Power Rangers which does explain how Anders becomes the Red Ranger and how Zane gets comatose, do check out Geeks Through Comics. I'll leave a link down below which will actually take you to my audio drama adaptation to said comic book, where you can check out the whole comic book being audio drama format, and I've been told the way that I actually edited this was really well done, so I'm really happy and proud of this audio drama adaptation to the comic book. So make sure you check out that channel as well, and of course hit the like button on this video. Go subscribe to Geeks Comics as well, of course. Hit the like button on this video, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and of course I will continue the Orange Ranger little playlist that we have, but for now we'll take a little break, and I will come back with Lost Galaxy next, of course, and I can't wait to see how we venture forth with the Orange playlist. Subscribe if you're new. I love you all, with passion, and I shall see you guys in the next one.